Hello everyone, my name is Elliot. You probably already know that. I'm here on the original Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and I'm doing a little tutorial on how to beat the 6th night in case you're having any difficulties with it. I know some people who are, so I'm probably just going to send in this video. I'm just going to say this isn't live commentary. I am recording this voiceover after I've played the game, so, rest assured I do win, I promise. But basically what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go over what I'm doing. So as you can see here, I'm spamming the cameras on the show stage, which does seem like a very interesting theory, I know, a very interesting strategy to go about it. Once the power reaches 97%, I start checking the lights. That carries over from a 420 mode strategy that I know of. And as you can see, I'm just going at it, I'm going up, camera, light, left and right. Now, this is a really incredible strategy. Now, you may notice occasionally I do peep to check over on Foxy, but that's just mainly because that's the easiest way to go about it, just to make sure. And apparently, for whatever reason, he didn't seem to move from his curtain at all on this night, which I know isn't the case for 420 mode, night 7, which I'll probably refer to it as, which I have noticed. I haven't beaten yet. And if you do notice that the audio of the gameplay stops for a second, it's because I click off the game a couple of times, because obviously I have a 1080p TV and I play the game in 720, so it's in a window. So when I go to click a light, sometimes I make a mistake by clicking off the game. That happens quite a few times. You will definitely notice that happening quite often throughout. I haven't written a script for this or anything. This is literally just me improvising based on what I see. And obviously it's always good to give voiceover because no one wants to just watch this, because this is boring. And there's no audio of me talking. And as you can see here, I made the mistake of seeing Bonnie in the door, then shutting the door, opening the camera, and then thankfully he wasn't in just yet, so I went back and shut the door. For whatever reason, Chica didn't show up until like 3 or 4 AM. I'm not sure why. I heard her go into the kitchen multiple times, but I assume she just backtracked for whatever reason. But speaking, I want to talk about the AI specifically. The reason I'm looking at just the show stage is because Freddy is exactly like Foxy, technically. I don't have to watch Foxy as much because Foxy resets no matter what camera you're looking at. As long as you've got the monitor flipped up, he can't move. That's how Foxy works. Freddy is a little different because he can move with the cameras up unless it's on his camera. So if he's on the show stage and you're looking at Foxy, he can still move around. But if he's on the show stage and you're looking at the show stage, he can't move, and neither can Foxy because you've got the cameras up. Obviously, he's still got to flip the cameras down to check the door for Bonnie and Chica, but obviously it gets used into sort of rhythm, so check light, camera up, check the other light. Check light, camera up, camera down, check the other light, and so on and so forth. It's a very repetitive notion that you eventually get used to. Actually, that's the funny thing, I beat this on the first try. I know this strategy inside out, that I managed to beat Night 6 on the first go. I was really close at the end, but of course we'll talk about it here. If you watch my power as well, I had to be very careful with the power, and even my power usage here was definitely not perfect. I think I get a little better towards the end, I would say, but, I'm not doing too well here, as you can probably tell. Anyway, so that's Freddy's AI. Foxy's AI, I'm going to go into a bit more detail here. Again, Foxy only stops moving if the camera's up. A lot of people think you have to be looking at Foxy to stop him from opening his curtain further, but that's not true. You have to be just having the camera open. The downside to that is that you don't know whereabouts, how much he has opened his curtain is coming towards you. So that's why you do have to check the camera on him, which I do, I'd say every 10 times I flip up the camera. For one of those times I check on Foxy, and you can tell because it's a bit of a mess. I do it quite frantically too. I'm like, kind of waste a little bit of time, but it's always good just to be certain about it. If I knew that he was going to move throughout the whole run, I probably wouldn't check on him nearly as often because it's too much, of the interruption. I do know that in the VR version of this game, you can actually hear him, so you don't have to check him. So if you hear him, you can quickly shut the door. Honestly, I kind of wish it was like that on this game, because I know there's like a 20-second time period between him disappearing from the curtain and him actually coming to get you, as long as you don't check him on the cameras and watch him running down the hallway. But yeah, so that's that. Bonnie and Chica's AI. I've noticed with this first game that unlike Freddy, and I guess in a way Foxy, they don't just follow a straight path down. They can go down, up, and everywhere. They can go all over the place. He can jump from the corner to the dining area. They don't have a specific. They do have a specific path, but they don't just reset and go back down to the path. They can go all over the place, if you know what I mean. Because I assume that's just a sort of way to prevent, just predictability. And literally, because if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're there. In the way that you can do with Freddy and the way that he laughs. Obviously, the game does have a sense of predictability with some of the methods, like especially with Freddy, when you're on 420 mode, you know that they're going to move every opportunity that they have, so every 5 seconds, you can literally just go, you can shut the door on one of them, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, they're gone, open the door, counting the 5 seconds that would take for them to leave, and, yeah, so Bonnie specifically always comes down through the left, as I'm sure you know, and he was the most troublesome. I'm not sure, his AI may just be higher on this night compared to Chica. Obviously it's not the hardest difficulty, so you don't have a 100% chance of them moving every so often. I didn't get a list of the AI levels, though I can certainly bring one up. I might put some text on screen now with the AI levels if I find them. And, yeah, so, Bonnie comes down left. I definitely think he's on the harder difficulty because he seemed to be giving me the most trouble. Thankfully, my terrible mouse coordination skills didn't fail me yet. And as you can see here, again with the power, I'm on 3 AM and 29%. It's a wonder as to how I won this game, honestly. Yeah, I also haven't got my cursor showing because, I don't know, I've always felt like it's a bit of a distraction. And plus, it kind of looks cooler when I don't have my cursor because it kind of looks like I'm actually pressing a button, The only time I really have my cursor is if I'm doing this. And when this happens, see, Chica, the first time she shows up, when both the doors are closed, I'm really nervous because I don't want to bring the camera up because obviously then I'm just going to waste more power. So then obviously I wait for them both to go, then I quickly pull it up, make sure they're both in the exact position that they're supposed to be in. And then I continue with the flow. And again, once you really get into it, you really get into it, it's light, flick, light, flick, light, it becomes a very repetitive thing. Anyway, Chica's AI, again, she was not a real big problem. Like, she only came to me a few times, and she didn't even show up until like 4 AM. I heard her in the kitchen numerous times, back and forth, but it took a very long time before she actually showed up right at my door. So, when it eventually happened, obviously, it's that sort of jumping, I assume that's why Scott put that sort of stinger in, when they open the door there, and it goes dun, dun, and obviously that sort of gives you a bit of a jump, which sort of affects your reaction time to very quickly be able to go huh, and shut the door, And as you can see, I'm getting very low on power here, so once it reaches 5 AM, he was starting to panic, it's like, oh my god, I'm on 10%, it's not even 5 AM yet. What am I going to do? But thankfully, I think it hits 5 AM around here, if I'm not mistaken, around this time at least. And I waited for it to reach 5 AM, and then I sort of lucked out. When it happens, I'll talk about it. So, see how I'm on 8% 5 AM. Now, what I do is I just checked everything was fine real quick and stopped. Now, I remember playing this game, I actually sort of stood out on my seat and sort of cowered in the corner of my room, like drinking my water, like hoping, like, don't say Foxy comes down. That's why I checked him. He was not in his curtain. He didn't even leave yet. The curtain was still completely shut. So I lucked out and assumed that hopefully it can be good. Honestly, I probably should have left it on the east hall corner, the east corner the camera, because then Freddy wouldn't be able to get me at all, because that would be on the camera and he wouldn't be able to advance further. So yes, something weird happened too, so you can hear Freddy laughing and coming down towards me as the power goes down. Foxy didn't get me, thankfully, but when he's in the kitchen, he starts to play his music, his a very faint music box, which when the power went out, which, happens in a second, 3, 2, 1, there, you can still hear his music box very faintly because he was in the kitchen when the power went off. Now, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the chances of him arriving early or not, but it definitely, he definitely didn't appear for a while, and I was very confused when it happened. I was like, wait, so is he here, is he not? That's why I'm looking around here, but then he actually showed up for real, and I understood the gist of it. But unfortunately, then this happened. The power went off almost instantly, and I was terrified. I was like, no way am I going to win this, but then thankfully, I won the game, which, I remember I was, like, pretty happy about. And I've already beaten Night 6 before, but, like, I was just happy, like, this was the first time I did it. I was full of excitement. I was like a little boy in a toy shop, a candy shop, whatever. So yeah, hopefully that was a pretty good idea and strategy on how to beat this night. Thankfully Foxy didn't show up, but he definitely does, drain power. I think that's just a luck-based thing, I have no idea. I'm not going to play it again, probably ever. I mean, I might eventually on stream, but who knows. But yes, thank you for watching this little video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps. Now go forth and play the game. I'll see you later. Goodbye.